My real estate dojo. Give me a second. Let me put my mic on. But I'm going to show you how to make money as a new investor. Plus, I'm going to answer any questions that you may have totally for free, guys. So give me a second. Let me put my mic on, and I will join you in a second. Yep, I'm almost done. Give me a few more seconds. I'm going to show you the question that Ruben has asked me, and then I'm going to explain the question for you guys and answer any questions that you may have. Give me one more second. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Give me 1 second. All right. Perfect. Ready to go. Hey, gang. This is Mike with My Real Estate Dojo. And Ruben is a Facebook friend of mine that had a question about real estate investing, and I'm going to go ahead and share his video with you. Before I do that, if you guys have any question about entrepreneurship, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. You could be in a cleaning business, you could be a tattoo artist, you can be a rapper, you can be a writer, you could have a law firm, you could have a fitness dojo, whatever it is. When it comes to guerrilla marketing, when it comes to starting a business with no money, I am it. There's a lot of people that go out there and tell you how to start a business and how to get into debt. But what I do that differentiates me between anybody else is I can show you how to start any business or how to get into real estate investing without using any debt, okay? Without using your credit cards, without using hard money lenders, without borrowing hundreds and thousands of dollars to buy a franchise or borrowing from a bank. What I show you is how to start businesses in America for free or very little amount of money, usually like $100 or less. Okay. Now it does take a lot of hard work, but it's possible to have financial freedom instead of being a slave and being in debt. So if you have a question about real estate or entrepreneurship, just do a quick video like the one Ruben has done, and I'll be happy to answer that. So if you want to come over here, let's get this party started. All right, so this is Ruben, and are we ready? And this is his question, so let's rock and roll.
Hi, Mike. This is Ruben from Arizona. I've been following you on Facebook, and I like a lot of the material that you put out. I love your philosophies. I have a friend who's coming into some money via a court case, and he really doesn't know what to do with it and is thinking about investing in real estate. I've read some books, I've taken some classes, but I have never invested myself, and I don't know how to guide him, and he's leery about listening to other people. So my question to you is, what advice would you give a very beginner, someone who's a baby, someone who's just thinking about investing? Can you recommend any books? Are you going to come out with any videos, any books that you yourself have written? I would love to take a look at that material, and I encourage you to make videos and write books for beginners, people who are just starting out, and so please reply to this video, to these questions, and I hope to hear from you soon.
All right. That's how simple it is. You make a question just like this, because I'm sure you guys seen me, my ugly mug, a million times, but I want to get to see you, okay? So I'm willing to help you guys out totally for free if you just show me how you look like and your personality. So if you have a question, ask me, make it quick, and send it to me. You could instant message me, you could just put it on my post, and I'll be happy to make a video for you guys. So Ruben, I really appreciate it. First of all, you're a very smart person, because most people are willing to just give advice when they don't know left and right, but they're willing to give advice to other people. And I could tell that you're a very intelligent person, because you tell your friend you don't know what to do, which is very, very smart, because it's kind of like the blind leading the blind. Okay, so let's go with question number one. You talked about that your friend's coming into some money, and pretty much you want to know what he should do with the money. How should he invest the money? And that's a really good question. But as I stated to you earlier, Ruben, at the dojo, I believe in using free money, house money, and I don't believe in getting into debt. And I'll give you many reasons why, but I'll just give you a couple right now. So my very first advice to your friend is, don't spend any of your money, dude. Don't spend any of your money, okay? Don't spend it, because any fool, okay, can show you how to spend money. It's not that hard, dude. You could go get a logo, set up corporation, get this, get that. I mean, anybody can do that for you, tell you what to do. But it takes an intelligent person to come up with creativity, imagination, guerrilla marketing, and learn how to make nothing into gold, okay, like the alchemist formula. And that's what I've learned. If you go to other places, they're going to tell you 10 different things that he or she, your friend, could spend his money in. But at the dojo, I say, don't spend any of your money, okay? Let me give you an example. What I've learned in my business, when I first started out living, out of college, I had $100, and instead of getting a job working for 30 to 40 grand like all my friends were doing, or even like my brother was having a great car and going on dates, I decided to live in my car with $100, okay? And the point of this is that I was able to, with the $100, use my imagination, creativity, not go, make a business plan, not go get an SBCA loan, not go to a bank, get a loan, or use my credit card, or do some kind of 100% financing where I get into debt, up my eyeballs. I use my imagination, creativity, but more importantly, I was able to use my customers to fund my business, and I was able to have $1 million business in a matter of a couple of years, okay? And I did that not because I had money. Now, let me give you a couple of other examples. I've started other businesses. I've given money to other people, entrepreneurs, and all these businesses I lost money. Okay, one great example is with my own brother. I pushed him to be a brokerage. He was like the youngest brokerage that I know, under 30. He was a real estate brokerage, having realtors working for him. I give him $75,000 cash to start the business, the initial capital. Doesn't include all the other money I put in there. And the guy failed, right? So not only has he failed, I have failed many times because I put up my money and thinking that money is going to solve the problem. And the truth of the fact is, money is not going to solve the fucking problem. What's going to solve the problem is creative thinking and imagination. Okay? Once you have that, then if you throw money at it, then you're going to have success. But if you don't, you haven't been in the trenches. For example, if you don't know, how to talk to a motivated seller, how to identify a motivated seller, how to gauge them, how to market to them. Okay? So if you go spend $2,000 on yellow postcards or bandit signs, then you're probably not going to get a lot of results. People are going to call you, but you don't know what to ask them. You don't have a sell a phone script. You don't know how to measure motivation. You don't know, so there's so many different things. So throwing money at something, the probability of success are slim. That's why people that win money at the lottery, they lose it, okay? The key of the fact is that your friend has to learn how to make money with no money. Those are the ideas that you're going to have the most amount of success. Okay, and once you've been in the trenches, once you've been in, practicing, once you've been getting some experience, then you could throw a little money and you're going to get a lot further. So there's a lot of power in being broke. There's a lot of power in, struggling. There's a lot of power in pain and suffering. Okay, I mean, that's where all the coolest gadgets that are revolutionary for mankind happen. Okay, they don't happen when you have all the money. Like if you go look at back, let's say Wikipedia versus Microsoft, they try to do a Wikipedia and they had all the money and they paid for all the fucking badass writers, and Wikipedia that was just freely done by people blew them away. Or you can look at, for example, the music industry or the movie industry. Napster came in and kicked their ass, and it was just free, peer to peer. Or so there's a lot of different stuff. Or myself, when I started a moving company with no money. So anybody can tell your friend to go spend money, and many people will, but I wouldn't listen to them. What I would do is work on getting my hands dirty. Okay, and so what do I mean by that? Which is the question number 2. Do I have any books or any suggestions, for beginners? Yes, I do. Okay, this business is very, very complex. Okay, it's not an easy business that people portray to be, or they sell you a dream, they show you nice things, and sell you hopes, but the probability of success is very, very slim, especially if you do it their way, which is set up corporations, set up logos, do all this crazy stuff, set out to the whole mailing list instead of using some of my filtering systems that I have. It's going to require a lot of money, spending a lot of money, and if the leads come in, you don't know how to talk to them, you don't know how to start, so it gets really confusing. So my best advice, to my sister, that if she was going to do this, like your friend, I would tell her, hey, there's 3 modules in this business. Okay, that's it. I'm making a very complex idea very, very simplified, because I want her to be successful. And this is what I would tell my sister. There's 3 modules in this business. There's 3 propellers in this business. There's 3 foundations in this business. And and you don't have to understand all 3 to get started. You don't have to understand all 3 to have success. It's kind of like, if you want to go to college, you have 4 years to go. There's 4 years to go, let's say. You don't have to know all 4 years. You start with first year, then second year. And the same thing with this idea. There's 3 propellers in this business. You have your lead generation, you have your conversion, and then you have your exit strategy. Lead generation is marketing, how to package yourself, things of that nature. Conversion is like, negotiation, how to talk to a seller over the phone, how to structure deals, contracts, etc. And the exit strategy is, what are you going to do with this thing? Are you a buy and hold guy? What is your personal goals? Are you going to flip it to somebody that's going to, fix and flip it? Are you going to be a fix and flipper where you love getting your hands dirty and do construction? And so that's your exit strategy. But the problem when I first started is probably the problem that's happening to you and Bob and Sally and Julie, is that, when we get into this, we want to get into this business, when we go to REI clubs, or when we go to seminars, whatever, they sell us this course. Like, you asked me, do you have a course that goes from A to Z? But being in the personal training business for a very long time and loving the business, I was able to learn how to train people and how their brain works and how their psychology works when it comes to pain and suffering, right? And I learned that you don't need the whole training from A to Z to be able to have success, because what happens is, when you go from A to Z, if you read this one book from A to Z, how to do this, what's going to happen? You're going to have more questions, more ifs, more confusion, more doubt, more research. Okay, and you can never learn like that. Okay, the way to learn is actually to take action. So what I would teach my sister, and this is something that you might want to tell your friend, is to focus on propeller number 1. So if he or she is new, they don't know left from right, which is great, that's not a problem with it. Don't spend any money, okay, on like logos, flyers, things of that nature right now. Okay, the only thing you got to spend money on is your brain. Invest in yourself. Okay. What do I mean? I could explain that in a little bit, but the very first thing they should do is lead generation. Okay, and lead generation basically breaks down to 2 ways to do it. You could spend money, or you can do it for free. And like I just said earlier, at the dojo, we believe in sweat equity, we believe in house money. So that means that I recommend every person, even if you have $1 million in your bank account, if whatever, if you not to spend the money on advertisement. First, do the free marketing. Now, if you're a doctor and you make $1 million at your clinic, and then no, don't spend money on free, because you're too busy. You make too much money on other things. But if you're unemployed and this is your only gig, then you only got 10 grand in the bank. That doesn't make any sense to spend all the money in advertisement. So the propeller number 1 breaks down to 2 ideas: free marketing and paid marketing. And I always teach all my students, if they got shitload of money, if they got little money, if they got medium money, if they got no money, to start with free marketing, because it introduces you to the business. It lets you talk to people, it lets people call you, it lets you get your feet wet, it lets you get your deals. You could get deals with free marketing, okay? And then once you make the money from the free marketing, then instead of taking that money and patting yourself on the back and going drinking or taking your family out, fuck that, dude. That's what I call house money. Now, this is money that you didn't have. This is money that you didn't have to stick out of your own pocket and put up in jeopardy. It's called house money, okay? Now you take that house money and then you put it into marketing, okay? If that makes any sense. But now, if you're not a doctor, but you're not broke, you're somewhere in the middle, then you might want to spend a little money into your mind so you can learn how to do some marketing. Okay. But again, I would go into the free marketing before I went to the paid marketing. So my advice to my sister or to your friend would be the same as my sister's. Like, if you're at zero, the very first thing I would recommend for you to do is learn how to generate leads. Learn how to get motivated sellers to call you. Now, at this point, you don't need to know how to answer the phone. At this point, you don't need to know what to say to the seller. At this point, you don't need to know how to fill out a contract. At this point, you don't need to know, what title company, what strategy, all this other stuff people want to sell you on a product. You don't need to know any of that because, and it's very, very crucial, if you implement step number 1 to generate leads and nobody ever fucking calls, guess what? You just wasted a whole lot of time learning contracts, where to close this. So that's it, right? That's it. So it's very important to do the lead generation. And if my sister, let's say, or your friend starts implementing lead generation marketing plans, and he or she doesn't ever get the phone to ring, then he or she can decide if they want to throw up their hand and go to something else. This is not for them, or to continue further. Okay, but if you go and spend money on logos, corporations, spend all this money on all the stuff, and you learn A to Z, but you don't spend any money on marketing, or you don't spend any time in marketing, and then you decide that, hey, well, nobody's calling and I'm gonna throw my hands up, guess what happened? You just spent all this fucking money and you got all these people rich besides you, right? So it's very, very crucial that you don't spend a lot of money and you save your money and you use your imagination, because everything you think about it was created in somebody's fucking mind. And so why can't you do it? I believe in you. I believe in my sister. I believe in your friend and whoever is watching it. You can use your imagination. If I can do it, I can't spell, I can't write, then you guys can do it too. But the very first thing is, if you're a beginner, is to work on lead generation. You don't have to know how to talk to a seller, how to answer the phones, none of that stuff, right? If nobody calls you or submits a lead or anything, or contacts you, text messages you, emails you, then you don't have to go to the next step. You got to work on this step, which is tweaking it until people start calling you, okay? Now, how do you know when to go to the next step? That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. When people start calling you, right? When people start calling you and you pick up the phone, you say hello, and you don't know what to do, what to say, that's the part to go to the next step. But if nobody calls you, there's no reason to go to the next step. There's no reason to learn more about the next step. There's no reason to figure out step number 3 or step number 2 when you haven't got level 1, which is lead generation. And again, there's 2 ways to do lead generation, which is free and paid. Now, your third question was, is there any books that I recommend? Okay, I don't recommend him to learn everything, but I would show him these are the 2 things he will need to get to step number 1. Once he gets to step number 1, you let me know and I'll do a video on step number 2. So if you want to come out here, please. All right, Ruben. So the very first thing that he needs to do is get on my website. Okay, he needs one of these products. Okay, he needs this one, which is the 39 No Fluff Real Estate Marketing Bootcamp. The benefit of this one is that I have free and I have paid ideas in there, okay? And the other benefit of this one is it's $219 on my website. But if you go to Amazon right now, you can get it for $19 just because I want to get reviews out there. And trust me, guys, it has so much information. I give you so much bang for your money that you're not going to be disappointed. For sure, for $19, it shows you exactly what to do for step number 1, which is lead generation. Okay. Now, If you want to get just free advertisement, then I do have this one. So the first thing he needs to do is get one of these items, okay, and then start implementing 10 ideas out of these items. So because this is 39, it's just too much. So out of that, when you watch it, you're going to just write down 10 ideas what you want to implement. And again, I prefer free. So he might want to get this one or this one, okay? Then the very next step is when people start calling, the very next thing that he should do is you should get that marketing and you should get my seller phone script. This is going to help you prepare for the anxiety that you may have when people call. Okay, you're not going to have to know it, but I'd say get it right now and read it, okay? Because these are the questions that you're going to have. Now, you're not going to use this. This is the borderline of step number 1 with step number 2, but I included in step number 1. So you get this, people start calling you, but you have this because you need to start looking over it and understanding what questions to ask, and I have a lot of training in here, okay? So what the first time the phone call calls, you're not like so paranoid. And then all you do is you fill out the seller questionnaire form. And that's it, dude. Once you get that, then you can go to step number 2. But if you're not here, and if you're not here, there's no reason to go from A to Z. It's too confusing. I mean, like, there's no reason to learn about all the different strategies, like wraps, like subject to, like lease option, like sandwiches. I mean, like options. Like, you don't need to know all that right now. I mean, it just causes confusion, and it's great to cause confusion for people that just want to sell you products. But what I want to do, Ruben, is to change your life. I want to, help you make more money. So in 10, 20 years that I see you, you remember that, hey, I somehow impacted your life or your friend's life or my sister's life. And that's what life is about, dude. Leaving positivity in people's life that you come contact to. And at the same time, I do want to make money just like anybody else. But I'd rather have a success story, and I know the money's going to come to me exponentially if the people that I help don't pay me. So that I'm not worried about the money. But what I want to do is help your friend to make money. So if he goes to all these seminars, all these classes, what's going to happen is going to get more and more and more confused. People are just going to sell him on dreams, sell him on bling bling, and things of that nature, okay? So to summarize it up, Ruben, 1, I would not recommend him to spend any money, and if he does, should be like $300, because this product and my seller phone script, $150 plus $20, you're looking at $200 at the very max. And these items that I'm having him spend are not into me, or is into his brain, okay? So the only thing he should spend money on is his brain. But you don't want to get information overload where it causes fear and lack of action, okay? So 1, conclusion, don't have him spend any money on all this crazy stuff that most people want. 2, don't get too much information overload. Remember the 3 propellers and just go with propeller number 1. And then 3, once he gets people to call, he was able to answer the phone, then you let me know and I'll tell him what to do next, because why should I even go to the next step? Because he might quit before even the next step. And that's the truth. These people that are out there, their businesses sell information, and they want to confuse the shit out of people and let you know how you don't have whatever it was required inside you. Like, you got to constantly look outside. Where I'm like, no, dude, you don't need to get in debt. No, you have everything already inside you, and you just need a little bump here and there, just like I did with personal training. When I took somebody in, I trained them for 4 weeks, and then I showed them how to train themselves so they could go out there for a year or 2 years before they hit a big plateau. And that was the key. When they see me in a mall, or I still see them, they come up there and still hug me, because I really changed their life. And that's what I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Ruben, I really appreciate the question. If there's any questions, ask me and I'll be happy to ask you guys. Are there any questions?
Marcus Ford says, hello, Mike. Marcus here from Ford & Ford Investment Group. He's in Dallas. He's just reading you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Gabriel? Huh?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, how's the weather in Dallas? I miss Dallas.
Okay, Gabriel Deanda says, have you ever heard of Fortune Builders? I'm signed up with them right now, paid $20K for their classes. Do you know if I made a good investment? I'm new, barely 19.
I had a student that went with them, and she spent a lot of money, and she didn't do a deal. And she's actually on my website on the proof section, and she came and we did a deal. I mean, I've heard just because of them. I don't know if it's a good investment. I think any investment in your brain is a good investment, but the problem is not education. If education was the key, everybody with a college degree would make a lot of money. If education was the key, there's so much information online on like how to be a real estate investor or how to lose weight, but most people don't do it. So what I've realized from training people through pain and suffering in the gym for years and years, and understanding psychology, understanding muscle behavior, understanding the brain, understanding pain, is that information overload doesn't get you stuff. You need like an action plan. You need simple. Anybody can make shit complex, but making it simple is pretty hard stuff. And the simpler, the better. That's why I like to break it down to 3 propellers. Hopefully you'll have great success. 20 grand is a lot of money. I believe that you're going to get your money returned. You're on watching this, so this has been for you. My main thing to tell you is just make sure you take action, and just take more action and take more action and take more action. That's the key for success.
All right. Aaron Clark says, I own over 70 REI domains, so real estate investment domains. This is definitely for me. I want my company to go nationwide.
Beautiful. And so do you own these domains to just generate lead generation and then you give it to other investors, or do you own these and they generate leads for you and then you're out there buying the properties for you, cherry picking the best one and then wholesaling the remaining? So that would be my question for you. But either way, they're both very smart. If you have the leads and you're just giving it to investors, that's really, really smart. And if you're created them as a SEO network of gateways, and that's even really smart as well, where you're getting the deals yourself, man. Keep it up, champ.
Sarah Longfellow says, I want to sign up for your training. She says, I would love step 2. So step 2 would be conversion.
Conversion. That's a very good question. The truth of the fact is, I'm very humble that you want to join me, but I'm really looking for people that go with my coaching that have at least $1 million business. Okay, so that's why I provide so much free stuff out there, because I want you guys to go out there, make your business happen, create system, have a $500,000 business, and then hit me up. Okay, but 2 modules that can help you out if you want to come up here and let me show this, which is the module number 2, okay, which is conversion. All right, and I'm going to show you just a couple of products that will help you with conversion. Okay, all right. My no fluff negotiating acquisition system. This is a very, very, very good system, because as I explained earlier, my major accomplishment in America is to be able to start businesses without getting in debt, without borrowing money from credit cards, and have $1 million business or have multiple businesses. And so when I started real estate investing, I had the same philosophy. I didn't want to go borrow money from a hard money lender. I didn't want to put it on my credit card. I didn't want to get private money. I didn't want to get in bank. I didn't want to get my social security card in debt. I didn't want to get my company EIN number in debt. So I created a way to where I could buy deep discounted cash properties, or I do owner financing. And believe it or not, if the seller has a loan, we could do owner financing. If the seller doesn't have a loan, we could do owner financing. Owner financing you could do with commercial, you could do with residential, and it's all about structuring a win-win situation. With owner financing, one of the things I love is that I'm able to pay sellers full asking price, and I'm the only guy that can do that. And I still make shitload of money. I'll cash flow like crazy because I'm a buy and hold guy. So if you have different exit strategies, owner financing is a great option. So for part number 2, I definitely recommend the no fluff negotiation acquisition system, and this is a must, dude. My Terminator soft offer letter. This helps you negotiate deep discounts, and it also has paperwork that you would give to the seller when you go to the seller's home, that the seller can actually hold, that's going to differentiate you from all the other people out there that don't do that. Okay, and I have serious training. So this is more psychological and theory, okay? And this is taking this theory and actually put it into apply. So if you get these two, you're able to negotiate owner financing. There's so many people out there that negotiate cash offers, but they don't know how to do owner financing. I don't care how pro they are. I see all these people submitting deals to me on a daily basis. They don't know how to do owner financing. These are the two things you need, okay? All right. Now, for conversion aspect of it, okay, another good idea is that once you get the marketing going, then people start coming to you. Now, my email autoresponder is a killer, is definitely a must. I have a video. I mean, all these have a video. This will increase your business 25 to 75%. Depends on what kind of follow-up systems you have, okay? But if you have like no follow-up email system that goes out for 3 years or 2 years, then you're doing yourself injustice. And my email system is not one of those emails that says me, buy from me, we close fast like everybody else. Like, I have a saying that, if you say we buy houses, you might as well say I can wipe my own ass. But with this, what we do is we build credibility, we build expertise into the seller, and all you do is just add your company information in there. Everything's pre-made for you, okay? So when people submit a lead to you, or when they reach out to you, or they email you or Facebook you or whatever, you want to put them into some kind of email follow series, and this is it, guys. Now this is divided into two: people that you talk to and people that you don't talk to. Sometimes a lead comes in from your website, or somebody calls you, whatever, and you call them and you can't get a hold of them. Well, then in that case, you just put them into that category. If you get a hold of them, you put into a different category. And again, it goes out very long period of time, because what I've noticed in this business is that, and that's something that most people don't talk about, is that 75% of your deals will come through follow-up, okay? About 10% of them will come to instant, that somebody is ready to move today, or they're very motivated. Because if you think about it, selling your home is not a fast thing. It takes weeks and months, if not longer. They have to find a home, they got to take their kids out of school, they got to pack their stuff, they got to get movers, they got to get storage, so it's not like selling a pair of shoes, or selling pizza, where it's just a quick transaction and adios amigos. This business is, you have to build credibility, you have to build trust, they have to like you, you have to build rapport, and it takes a while. You might talk to that seller and not close in 6 months, or close in 2 months, or close in 3 months, or close in 1 year. Depends on the seller situation. I have sellers, I bought a condo, the seller contacted me. We got it under contract. Well, I didn't even have it under contract for like 2 months, and then on the 3rd month, got it under contract. We didn't close for another couple of months. So it took a long time. And the reason the seller decided to go with me instead of anybody else is because follow-up, dude. Follow-up. So for conversion, if you don't have a follow-up email series, then you're just doing yourself injustice, because it costs so much money for marketing, dude. And if you're doing free marketing, then you're putting a lot of sweat equity in, okay? Now, another good one for conversion is my ultimate Facebook, okay? This is a free marketing, but believe me or not, when I implement this, it builds so much credibility with people, especially on Facebook, that they're willing to send you referrals, they're willing to give you customers. But the good thing is, if one of these customers, let's say you've been doing this tactics that I show you here, and it's a seller, so this tactic has already converted them. So when they reach out to you, you're not selling anymore. So it's very, very important, because one is cold, and the lead comes in and it's a little warm, and you're selling them. They don't know you much besides what they see in your advertisement. With this tactic right here, you've been in multiple contacts with them for a while, and when they reach out to you, they already know you, and they're willing to buy from you guys. So those are a couple of things that would help you out with conversion. Any other questions?
Yes. I just want to know, how do I sign up for your program?
Which program are you referring to? My coaching. If you guys want coaching, or the great thing with me is I'm very transparent. I'm not I'm not as clear as mud. You heard that Texas saying, as clear as mud. I love when you go to all these real estate coaches or people that you want to mentor. They don't ever have a price. They have just a bunch of sales funnels and trying to why? Okay, why is that, dude? Okay, with me, anything you want is on my website, on my shopping cart. You want to get the coaching, you just pay. There's no one to talk to. There's no sales pressure. There's no one to persuade you. The reason I don't want to sell you is because I don't want to sell you on a dream, okay? What I've learned is if I have to sell you, your probability of success is very little. If you sell yourself, then your probability of success is higher. And out of all the time I've been doing this, I've only got paid from 3 people that I took their money and didn't get results, and I'm very ashamed of that, okay? And I don't want to take people like that anymore, man. When people pay me, I want them to get results, and I feel really fucking bad when they don't get results. So I've learned not to take people in anymore unless they're fucking motivated. One way is, if they're mentally motivated themselves and they can pull on the trigger, more than likely they're going to be able to pull on the trigger and go advertise, pull on the trigger and talk to the seller, pull on the trigger and go meet the customer. They're not going to make excuses. If they want to call me and they want to talk to me, they want me to persuade them, tell them how good I am or how good the American dream is or how good real estate is, then more than likely they're not going to get anywhere. And I don't want their fucking money, unfortunately. I wish I could do that, but I'm not going to feel good sleeping at night, but I don't want that. I want to take people and actually help them out. So if you want to buy any of my products, you want to buy any of my coaching, it's all online. People pay me 25 grand. Just you go in there, you PayPal it, and that's it, dude. The 6 grand, they go in there, the same thing. You want to buy a $200 product, the same thing. All my products are, you get access instantly to it. Same thing with the coaching, guys. If you got a question, just ask it. If you have a question, make a video and then send it to me. You can send it to me on Facebook. You can email it to me. You can go to my page. You can upload it to like Dropbox, Google Drive. You can put it on YouTube and give me the link. I don't care. Give me the video because I'm willing to help you guys out if I get to see you. Because the thing is, you get to see me. I never get to see you guys, so I want to see your face, and I'm willing to do it for free if I get to see your face. But if you have any questions, just do like what Ruben did. Send it to me, and I'll be happy to answer it for you guys. Entrepreneurship or real estate investing. Any more questions?
Yeah, we have several.
Beautiful.
John Sebastian Gonzalez says, how do you sell assignments to investors without losing the deal?
Very, 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 very good. Okay, if you come over here, my friend, that's a very, very good question, and I actually have a video that does that, okay? If you come to my website and go to where it says memorandum, let me see if I can find it real quick. There it is. It's in the green. It's $150. There's this form that you get, okay? And there's video training that you get. And you just have the seller sign this. I show you exactly how to do it. And boom, you protect your deal. On this piece of paperwork, I even have you tell the seller how much he's going to give you in case he defaults or in case he decides to back out. Does that make sense? So, and if he gives you that money, let's say you get the deal on the contract and you do what I tell you here, and then the guy decides to sell it to somebody else, well, on the paperwork says that you're willing to release your interest in this if they give you your $5 grand or $3 grand, whatever you were trying to wholesale it. So this is what you need, my friend. Good question.
Aaron Clark, we answered his question earlier. He's the one that owns 70 REI domains. He says, can you help with growing the business?
Okay, I love to, man. Like, what are you trying to do? Like I asked you earlier, are you getting these domains and you're just SEOing and then you're trying to give it to other investors? If that's the case, hit me up, dude. I have so many wholesalers. I have so many cash buyers. If you give the lease to them, we can figure something out where I'll give it to these students. They work it. You get a piece. If that's the case, I've done that back in 99, 2000. I was generating leads for a moving company. So if that's what you're saying, I know how to do this business, okay? But if you're talking about creating leads and you working it, then let me know what your idea is and I'll love to help you out.
We have a comment from Sarah Longfellow. She says, congrats to both of you. God bless the three of you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you.
Derek Sissel says, what would you do if the seller refuses to sell the property after signing a contract? I filed a memorandum with the county clerk to cloud the title and had already assigned my contract for a $25,000 fee.
$25,000 fee?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That's his question. What would you do if the seller refuses to sell the property after signing a contract?
Okay. and if you signed a memorandum and you filed it at the county clerk's office, did the seller assign it to someone else, or now they decide not to move?
Meanwhile, he replies, John Gonzalez, you answered his questions. He says, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, my friend. So let me answer some of your question, guys. When you get these assignment fees, even though they're non-refundable, I usually don't spend it till the deal closes, dude. Okay, that's very, very important, because not all deals go through. Okay, number two, this is something that I learned the very, very hard way. Okay, and I'll give you an example. You can be right, but it's not worth the legal fee. Okay, let me say that one more time, guys, and this is a $1 million lesson that I've learned. You can be right, but 100%, but it's not worth the legal fee. Let me give you a little story. I when I first started my moving company, like in the first 2 years when I was new, we were doing moves, and I didn't have good policies in place. All right, and we moved this lady, and she decided, jiff me really hard, not to pay for the services. And I was just starting out, and I didn't have any debt, and I didn't have any credit card. I didn't borrow any money, so I was going on, every money I got I had to pay, and so every penny counted. All right, I wasn't making it that big. I was just starting out. I was hardly making any money. Every money I made, I had to put back into the company, and so. This lady decided not to pay, and by Texas law, we're able to put a lien on their property, and put their stuff in the storage facility, and then give them notification, and then auction it off and sell it. And so I hired an attorney. I did exactly what the law said. I put their stuff in storage. I paid the storage fee. I ran an ad in the newspaper saying we're going to auction off their stuff, and I sold it. And the problem was nobody wanted this shit when I tried to sell it. I actually lost money. I had to not take it to the dumpster. Nobody wanted it, so we didn't even get a penny for it, because it was pretty horrible shit. And so what happened? I paid the attorney fee. I paid all the storage fee. We threw her shit in the trash. A couple of months later, the lady, she didn't have money. She found a free attorney. They sued us. So I hired another attorney. The same attorney again. We went to court, and I won. Okay? Guess what? Did it stop there? No, it didn't stop there. The same lady went to find another attorney. Now she found like the top, like the third or the fifth largest law firm in Dallas area to work for free for her, because she didn't, supposedly solvent, she didn't have any fucking money. And now the second law firm is suing me. Okay, again, now again, I get an attorney. We beat it, right? So now this thing is like the third fucking time for some stupid ass stuff that I bought. That we moved, that we couldn't even sell. The lady didn't pay us, and her move was like $600, $1,200. I don't remember, it was so long ago. I lost $1,200. I had to pay my movers. I had to pay for the gas. I had to pay for the time, right? I had to pay the lawyer number 1, lawyer number 2, lawyer number 3, all the fees and shit, right? And then she sues me another time. So every time she sued me for a different thing. One thing was like breach of contract. Next thing was like deceptional trade act practices. The next thing was like, I don't have the rights to sell her stuff, and so, and then on the fourth time, I went to an older attorney. He was a very wise guy, right? And I liked him. He gave me a really good advice. He said, man, I'd love to take your money. And it seems like a lot of attorneys have. And then a lot of attorneys did take my fucking money. And he said, look, dude, you're better off just giving this stupid bitch her fucking $1,200 she's claiming, basically, and moving on, because you're going to pay me X amount. We're going to go to court. And these chick is not going to stop. She's going to constantly sue you, and since she's solvent, there's people working for free for her, and you're going to spend a shitload of money. And from that day on, I learned that, to choose my legal battles. Just because I'm right and I can win doesn't mean I should spend 10 grand or 20 grand fighting some fucker because he or she has free illegal accesses to it, or he or she's a lawyer. They're fucking crooks and they're blood-sucking vampires, and they're just trying to screw people over. I just let karma take care of that. So what does that have to do with your story? Okay, because as a real estate investors, it's going to be hard for you to get in front of the judge and say, look, dude, this is the guy's homestead. He has protection, but we got a contract. I'm trying to make move this. So you're not. I'm not going to say you're not going to win. There's a good chance that you can win, but first, it's going to be a very long process. 2, it's going to cost a lot of money. 3, there's a lot of stress, right? So, are you willing to do all that? Now, the memorandum thing that I show you, especially with the one that I have, you basically spill out your liquidity damages, and you just wait. And it's not 100% always that you get it, but hey, if it's a 90% chance, but you just wait, right? And you just wait it out to whenever the seller's wanting to sell, and then you collect. So where am I going with that? That's a very good question. I personally would not go battle some guy to sell their poor home because I'm going to make it $25,000 and the guy's not going to get anything. That doesn't sound too fair, dude, right? So if I was going to make $25K and the guy was motivated, he wanted to sell, and I'm not forcing him to sell. I would probably give him half my money, dude. I would do whatever it takes to get the deal done, or I would just let it go. Now, if the guy was selling to another investor, he's trying to fuck me over.
He replied, he says, I think they want to sell to someone else, but they say they just don't want to sell.
Then you just wait around, my friend. You just wait around, and assuming that you have the memorandum. Well, how much did you pay for your memorandum? And okay.
Aaron Clark replied, I'll be in touch ASAP. I'm going to explain when I start the dojo.
Okay. Yeah. Hey guys. I take it really personal when people instant message me, because if you don't have my cell phone number, I take it real personally. So if you're instant messaging me on Facebook, I get upset unless you get your credit card out, right? But on this thing, on my timeline, I don't mind it. But I just don't like when I'm sleeping, people message me, and it's like only my students that have paid me are able to have my cell phone number. And so if you don't have my cell phone number, don't do that. Hit up my Soraya, she'll take care of you. But I like my privacy in a sense, even though I'm out here. But going back to that situation, dude, I would just wait, or I would split the guy with some of the money. And always remember, dude, don't cash the assignment fee and run off, because if the deal doesn't close, that investor's going to be upset. And dude, you don't want to be burning bridges, man. Like if you got some guy 25, if I got some guy's assignment fee, the deal doesn't close, I'm just going to give him an assignment fee, dude. I'd rather have that investor say, damn, that guy didn't have to do that. Even though my assignment fee says non-refundable, even though I disclosed that to them. No, I'm not saying I'm going to do it every time. If the guy was just a sneaky motherfucker and I feel like he's trying to fuck me, then I'm going to tell him to fuck him. But if I think he's a real legitimate person and he tried to do his best and the deal didn't go through, then dude, I'm just going to give his fucking money back. But if the guy bullshitted and he didn't go to the title company, and no, I'm not going to do that, right? Because he's a dumbass. But if you really truly try to the end buyer try to close, they couldn't close, and I got his assignment fee, fuck it, I'll give him his $2,500 or whatever it was back, because I want him to be successful. It's just not like I don't want to be a hit and run, one hit wonder type of guy. You know what I mean? I don't recommend that for you either.
He says he had his attorney write it up.
Very good. Maybe hit up that attorney, dude, and see what he recommends for you, my friend. Any other questions? All right, guys, thanks for watching in. If you have any questions, make a video and then send it to me, guys, and therefore I can actually do a video for you, and I did it like I did Ruben. Ruben, thank you so much. Go hustle and bustle. I have another question that just came in a little while ago. I'm going to answer it in a couple of minutes on Facebook Live. See you later, gang.